Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
Have we figured out how to explain deja vu? How do chameleons do that thing they do? Do you really need to wash your blue jeans? Yeah, you do, but how often? Hey, my name's Mike Simpson. I've got a podcast about curiosities. It's called I've Got Questions. We go through my list of random stuff and yours. Please participate. Send me your questions. I'll find someone to answer them. We've talked about our true crime obsession, how grocery stores are tricking us, super secret flight attendant stuff. I've Got Questions. New episodes Thursdays on Odyssey or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. George Lucas it was the conversation topic on Conan O'Brien's podcast with Seth Rogen, because he talked about the fact that he met George in 2012 and how George seemed to really believe the Mayan prophecy about the end of the world that October.
Very quickly, the conversation turns to, like, how's it going? Not great. We're nearing the end of 2012, and the world is going to end, essentially. And yes, a question that still haunts me to this day, and I think I know the answer, is, was he joking? I really don't think. It did not appear he was joking. No. So we tried to prod, and we're we're making jokes. It's like, what's supposed to happen? It's like, a giant fault is going to, earthquake.
No, he's very seriously saying, it's a fault line.
It's a fault line. I'm like, good thing the Skywalker Ranch is on the other side of the fault line. And he's like, that's not a coincidence. Like, and we're like, what?
Wow. I didn't, if that's true, that like George Lucas, the way he built all this stuff, he was really anticipating the Mayan prophecy, and how long in his life has he been waiting for that? Because it was, it was supposed to happen in 2012.
If you're Seth Rogen, do you try and reach out to him like every October and be like, hey, you think it's still going to happen? Just to kind of troll George Lucas?
Yeah, I would. I would totally. If I was like a real close friend of George Lucas and he was giving me this whole crap, I'd be like, George, really? Every time I saw him, I would. In this clip, Seth does talk about how his conversation with George Lucas continued to get more and more awkward.
At which point we making a joke like, if you got a spaceship to escape Earth, can we get a seat on that thing? And he was like, no. No. Which again, it makes me think he wasn't joking, because if you were joking, you would just say yes to go, to at least placate us by granting our wish to go on the spaceship. But no, he said no. And thank God. But yeah, and again, to this day, I am confounded and plagued by that story. I don't know if he had a spaceship.
What if he does? What if George Lucas actually does have the Enterprise?
Yeah, how crazy is it if he literally does have a spaceship to leave the planet if he needs to? I don't know where he's going, by the way. Where's he going? Maybe
he's good friends with Elon. He could just get on over to Mars.
Does he? Can he go to Can he go to hyperspeed? I don't know. This is nuts. This is really nuts. And how about if he's just trolling the whole time? There are people who are very monotone, and I never know when they're joking. It's like it's the same inflection and same tone. I got a few friends that are like that, and I'm like, are you messing with me or not? I don't know. You talk the same in every conversation, no matter what you're talking about.
So do you think like George is listening to this podcast by chance, or he catches wind that this podcast happened and he's just like, that dumbass still thinks I really thought that the Mayans were coming and all this stuff was happening?
Yeah.
That would be even better.
Oh, I think
because if I'm George Lucas, then I full on I would just like lean into that even more. Like reach out to Seth Rogen, like, yo, I was thinking about it. Maybe, yeah, you know what? I'll give you a ride on the spaceship. You should come on over. I'll show you the spaceship.
Yeah, Seth. I felt bad. You have a seat.
And just takes him to Disney. Bring him to Disney.
Yeah.
To the Star Wars exhibit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because apparently Danny was telling us during the break that Disney's like, it's just crazy times there right now because of all the pandemic stuff. It's limited lines and cheaper prices.
Yeah, cheaper, right? And it's like, so for reference, normally Disneyland operates at 55,000 people per day.
Yeah.
Now it's 15,000. So it's way, apparently the wait times are like 10 minutes a ride.
Wow.
Whoa. Yeah. Like now's the time to go to Disneyland if you can go to Disneyland.
How do you get in?
Ride.
Yeah.
You got to know Mickey.
Yeah,
I feel like the waiting list is going to be nuts.
Yeah, I think it's super hard to get tickets right now, and I think they're only doing Southern California residents or California residents. I'm not positive on
so
that.
So we need to move.
Yeah, but I've seen people not from Disneyland go to Disneyland, like posting it on Facebook.
Are they lying?
No. We know someone who works with us.
But do you think they might have lied to
Probably.
Mickey? Or said, oh yeah, I'm totally from California.
Yeah.
Mickey.
Or they went with somebody who does live there.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I got the hookup.
All right.
Oh, nice.
Damn. Let's
go. I would totally go.
Yeah.
I know like some people like I don't know like I know some people that would like I couldn't spend an entire day at Disney with a mask on and I get it, like it's warmer there, but I'm willing to be put at a level of discomfort for 10-minute lines at Disney. I can get off of Space Mountain and go right back in line.
Yeah, I'm down with it. All the characters have to wear those crazy heads all day long, so I would wear masks for Space Mountain or Haunted Mansion.
It'd be awesome if we could wear Disney character heads instead of masks.
There you go. And just pose with kids.
That's perfect social distance because some of those heads are so big you really can only stand 6 feet away.
It's punk rock Mickey, but it's Danny.
Yeah. I like this.
I don't know why he sounds like that. But hey-ho, Mickey.
Oh, that's punk rock Mickey?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he would have more of a British accent or something, but all right, I'll go with it.
What do you think of Ramon? He's like, hey-ho, let's go.
Oh, that's what it is. Now you flushed it out, Mickey. Yeah, you sound just like Joey.
It's coming together.
Yeah. Rock and roll high school.
Hey-ho.
All right. Someone asked people to name the weird habits that they have added to their routine in the past year, which we told you recently that we've increased our impulse spending by 51% in the last year. So this whole year is just an S show of whatever we used to do, we don't do, and then adding weird stuff to what our habits are all about. One woman said she stopped eating the cream in the middle of Oreo cookies. She's a heretic, by the way. Instead, she says she now smashes them into softball-sized hunks of cream that she's hoarding for later.
What are you going to use for later?
You just lick the whole ball thing.
Yeah, she's a genius.
Yeah.
No, she's going to put it in the middle of a field in a state that nobody goes to, and it's the world's largest ball of Oreo cream.
I would like to see that, actually.
I would hope that she posts a picture of something like I want to see the picture.
What if she breaded it and then deep fried it or something?
Is it a softball size that she says? I mean, that's what
looks bigger than a softball, or about the same size of a softball.
Oh, look at all of the Oreo cream she has. Oh, that's so wonderful.
That's disgusting.
It's kind of gross. Yeah.
You take a bite of that.
Oh yeah.
You get the wafers and put it back on it, so it's like one mega stuff.
Yeah.
Or you make a big cake stuff. Or a big cookie version and just eat the giant version of it.
Oh, I like all those ideas.
Or maybe cake frosting.
Oh, that's a good idea too.
Yeah, but her hand's been on this thing, just making it's like.
Yeah, that kind of weirded me out a little bit too.
To me, it just looks like a giant booger at that point.
Oh wow.
Well, it's for her. I mean, I don't mind her putting hands all over it if she's like.
Well, she just took a big old gnarly bite out of it like an apple.
I would massage mine. I would love it and care for it forever.
Well, it just reminds me. I don't know if you saw the latest crumble cookie, BJ.
Oh.
There's a chocolate cookie that's featuring Oreo. It's a warm chocolate cookie topped with vanilla cream frosting and Oreo cookie crumbs.
Okay, that's like Inception. That's the Inception cookie. It's a cookie about a cookie.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is the weirdest thing ever. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen that. I have seen Oreos used in a lot of dessert products, but I've never seen another cookie feature Oreo as the condiment to the cookie.
Still doesn't top the one that they made. They also have a waffle cookie, which is a waffle cookie topped with buttercream and maple syrup.
I did see that one of our buddies on internet, Kevin K, basically said, well, this ends the argument. There's not a pancake cookie out there, is there?
Well, give them time. I'm sure they'll make one.
Yet.
Right. Yeah, that seems like a little weird thing to put together because of the pandemic. A giant ball of Oreo stuffing.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that it's weird and gross to a lot of people, but I so much love that Oreo filling that I can almost see myself doing that. Another woman read that, if you kept feeding crows, they'd start bringing you gifts, which Rev knows this personally.
Yep, can confirm.
Yeah, she now does it every day, hoping that they'll bring all sorts of gifts to her, whether it be garbage or maybe some, maybe a diamond in that rough. That's her new habit.
We didn't know really what to expect when we started feeding the crows in our neighborhood, but we did end up with half of a pair of earbuds. So the Apple earbuds, the new ones, the little cute ones, we found one of them in the little charging case.
Oh, because they got that shiny metal bottom. Mm-hmm. So I bet that's what caught the crow's eye.
Probably.
Wow. Yeah, because, they look for shiny stuff. I don't know how they know that humans like shiny stuff. Maybe because they see us wearing it. Isn't it odd that that's what they bring? The shiny, and the bottle caps, of course, can be shiny in the sun. It's so weird crows know to bring that to humans as a gift.
Maybe they just like shiny stuff, too, and they think we would like it, too.
I think so. I do find myself being nice to the crows. Like, if there's a crow in our backyard, I don't shush it, because I'm like, I don't want to piss this crow off. I'd rather than be in cahoots with us.
Yeah, they will remember your face, whether you do good things or bad things.
So, Vicky, if they like shiny stuff themselves, how come I never see them wearing any bling?
I'm sure they would if they can get it over their head.
Like a crow with a grill or something like that. Whoa. Seriously, how come they don't have it? They got a big enough beak that they could really have a sweet grill.
That's at night when the crows show off all that. It's the
crow nightlife.
Yeah. It's the crow late night trip, they call it. Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I'm working, I don't always wear my bling.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, you wanted to show off when you go to the clubs.
Someone downloaded an app that tracks planes overhead, and now they check to see where people are flying from and imagine what it would be like to live there. I didn't know you could do that.
I downloaded the app. Yeah, it's a free app that you can just look and see. And I always do it just because there's so many different weird planes flying over from JBLM and stuff by my house.
And it identifies, what do you point your phone at the plane and it knows which one it is?
No, it just knows your location, and it knows it's a flight tracker that just shows whatever other flights are, coming in from SeaTac and stuff like that. And it'll show the routes and exactly where it's going. It's just like if you're on the plane and you can see your own flight tracker, it just does that for everything around you.
Does it tell you the flight number that's flying, like flight number 222 or something like that?
I'm pretty sure it does. It's been a while since I've checked it out. Usually I'm just looking to see if there's any planes flying over to make sure it's not UFOs or anything.
No. Oh, yes, because I'm sure the flight tracker would go, oh, yeah, that's an alien.
Well, if there's nothing on the flight tracker and there's something flying over the head, it's a UFO at that point.
Cue the X-Files music.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is out there. Rev's got the app.
True. So what happens when we're all able to be around each other again? And I'm just picturing these conversations. Hey, so what have you been up to during the pandemic? Well, I've been growing down with those in my backyard, or I'm making a giant mound of Oreo cookie cream. It's just we're going to have some interesting stories to share with people when everyone can spend some time together again.
You're probably going to want to run away from people again after you hear these stories.
Right. You're like, Sally lost her mind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Someone's admitted that they've been watching shows and hitting pause to argue about the plot with an imaginary friend on their couch.
That sounds like something you would do, BJ.
Yeah, I can see you thinking that I would do that, and I can even see myself maybe thinking I would do that.
I've seen people play the mustache or sunglasses game with that.
What the hell is that?
So you put a little cutout of sunglasses or a mustache somewhere random on your screen, right? And whenever it perfectly aligns with somebody, you take a shot.
Oh.
So when it hits and it looks like the mustache is on the person or the glasses are on an actual person, you take a shot or whatever treat you want to give yourself. I definitely want to play that, though.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a Vicky game. I would be so irritated because I want to watch the show without seeing all the stuff all over my screen. That would be like, get off my screen.
I was looking at the solicit. I saw somebody said that they've named every squirrel in their backyard and they give them backstories.
Aww. That's adorable.
And slightly sad.
Yeah, it's very, very sad. We need to get the hell out.
Oh, then never mind. I never did that.
We did it with raccoons. It was.
But you were drunk with Joe.
Yeah, and we gave him cherries, so we were basically BFFs.
Do you still know their names?
No, unfortunately. I don't.
Wow.
No, we're good.
Well, do you remember their backstories? Was one a secret agent, like a secret squirrel?
Oh, well, raccoons, yes, they're all secret agents, and they're all trying to get cherries and heist us.
Oh, yeah, they are all bandits. They have the masks.
Yeah.
That's what it is, yeah.
Well, there is that Netflix show, The Cherry Heist, starring raccoons that you watch. Danny for a second looked at me like,
I was
no.
like, is it really?
I was too. I was like, what the hell? It was Steve. My mind, here's my mind said, Steve finds all of the worst shows. That's all he ever does is just, hey, I watched the new show. It's The Cherry Heist starring...
I would watch that.
Well,
I would too.
Exactly.
I immediately thought it was a kid's show, like for Tatum. And it was just a bunch of like cartoon.
Yeah, it's not after Masha and the Bear.
Yeah, exactly.
But before Money Heist.
Right. It's the same raccoons that are in Magic Mike.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I don't know what's
Mighty
going on.
Mike, sorry. That's
Oh,
the kid
okay.
show.
Like,
Magic Mike is not a children's show.
It is not.
Okay, well.
I was like, where are we going with this?
Please don't take any television recommendations from Steve. Please don't.
Yo, Mighty Ducks is good.
Oh, yeah. Really? They don't want your endorsement.
Why?
Why? Because you're you.
I'm a tastemaker when it comes to television. I thought you knew that.
Yeah, you're something.
I verified that Mighty Ducks is amazing.
It's a great show.
Yeah, I mean, look, I never watched the movies, so I that's therefore I have no interest in watching them. I watched Bad Batch over the weekend, the new Star Wars animated TV show, and I loved the first episode. The second episode was like, nah, it was all right. I feel like it was kind of a filler, to be honest.
Speaking of, you mentioned Star Wars, and we were talking about George Lucas with Seth Rogen saying he was all convinced about the Mayan calendar and the world was going to end in 2012. And a lot of people brought up a point saying, hey, that explains why he sold Star Wars to Disney back in 2012. He probably thought that the world was ending.
Okay, if that is true, well, yeah, he probably needed all that money to build his spaceship. You know what? Yeah. A lot of this is making sense.
Everyone's texting saying, yeah, he sold Star Wars back in 2012. It's starting to make sense.
Wow. Boy, how about he was talk about the fact that if he really believed the world would end, what a very bad deal. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's kind of an insidious thing to do if you go, sure, I'll make the deal with you because I know the world's coming to an end. I mean, it's like, turns out he was, I guess they're laughing at him. I'm not sure who's laughing who.
Oh, and how about this? A lot of people are texting saying you can ask Siri now what planes are flying over your head at any time.
You can do that too?
I don't even know how to get Siri to work on my phone anymore.
I think you say, hey, Siri.
Yeah, you yell Siri.
Hey, Siri.
Well, if you say it like that, she's never going to come to your phone.
Are there any planes flying overhead?
Okay. I found this on the web for Are There Any Planes Flying Overhead?
It does not work.
Oh, thanks. You just told me what I could do on my own.
Google it.
That's my least
she basically Googled it me.
That's my least favorite Siri response. I'm like, no, I'm asking you for a reason because I don't want to open Google.
Hey, Siri, what planes are flying above me right now? Maybe that'll be the better way to do it.
Yeah.
On it.
Oh, she's on it.
I found an answer. It's displayed on your iPhone.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, wow.
Is it a plane?
There's an Omni Air
Is it a
Express.
bird?
There's a Boeing commercial airplane, another Boeing, and a few other planes.
Wow, she did it. So it really depends on how you ask her.
Yeah, it even gives you a little sky map, too.
Yeah. Just don't use that creepy voice, Steve, because she'll just call 911 if you use that creepy
Hey,
voice.
Siri. Thanks a lot.
Would you like to play a game?
No.
Calling 911 now.
Oh, no.
We've got women on Reddit that are sharing the things that guys do that aren't nearly as attractive as they think they are. Are you guilty of any of these? I'll tell you at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load, terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
We all remember that one professor, the one everyone on campus had to take no matter what subject they taught because how much fun their class was. What if we told you there was a streaming service that had all those professors? One Day University has every must-have professor from the best colleges all across the country. One Day University, the most fun talks from the most fun professors. Available live and on demand. No homework, just the most fun you'll have while learning. Get a special offer at ondayu.com/Odyssey.
Hey, what's up, everyone? You find yourselves trying to get your Craig Mack on and put some brand new flavor in your ear? Well, funny you should mention that because we have a brand new show that you should check out. It is called Pod Sauce. It is your podcast discovery show.
Everyone's always looking for a podcast recommendation. We got lots of them for you, from true crime to pop culture. And you can join us each week as we dish on all of our favorite podcasts out there. So make sure you download the Odyssey app and search Pod Sauce, or head on over to podsauce.com.
We got you covered, guys.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Women are going on Reddit, and they're sharing things that guys do that aren't nearly as attractive as those guys think they are.
Ooh. Number one's got to be the dong pic.
You're close. You're close. It's actually much more broad than that, but it's just nudity in general. Male nudity, not that big of a thing for women. As it were.
I feel like if you are able to make it a joke, I think that's funny, and obviously humor is an aphrodisiac. So, like, there is a weird connection to it, but if you're like, hey, I'm naked, right? Are you turned on? It's like, not necessarily, but if you put a top hat on that, I'm going to laugh.
Right, like, I don't know if there's, like, a proper pose, unless, like, you're, like, completely ripped. Then maybe that's, but more often than not, we aren't.
Right.
So for me, it would just be like the other day, I walked into the bathroom and my wife was getting ready, and I just hiked up my boxers. So, like, there was, like, they looked like Speedos and just, like, way up over my waistline. And so I'm like, how are you doing? And of course, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, take a picture of that. I need to save this. It was just more
or it's like, have me now.
Right. It was more like, oh, that's funny. Can you please stop that, though?
Thank you for that image.
Yeah, totally. I burned my eyes.
I don't really.
And they were like these fluorescent green Under Armour underwear.
And that image
great.
is getting clearer and clearer.
Wow, you can green screen that. That's amazing.
Yeah, she thought I looked like Borat.
Okay.
All right, then.
This is not a good image.
Fair.
Don't like that. Yeah, so, yeah, anything at all related to male nudity. Pictures of male nudity in person, all male nudity. Women on Reddit are going, yeah, we don't dig it. It's not attractive now and forever. Which is the exact opposite for men. You don't have to be ripped. You don't have to be in great shape for me to go, wow, there's a woman naked. All right, I'll go check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just, it is just so amazing how completely different we are, on average.
Well, I think the female body in general looks nicer.
Yes, it
I mean,
does.
I think even women agree. Like, they'd rather see a naked woman than, even if they're not into women, they'd still rather see a naked female body because it's way more beautiful than, Lumps McGee over here.
Sorry for all the names.
Lumps McGee.
I'm sorry, but I have a soft spot in my heart for Lumps McGee.
Lumps McGee. That's my backyard wrestling name.
Yeah. So we're talking about the women on Reddit with the list of the things that guys do that are not nearly as attractive as what those guys think they are. And, of course, nudity is number one. Vicky, what do you got? We took nudity off the table. Anything else that guys do that they think, oh, this is making me look great? And you're like, no.
When they talk crap about anybody else to make them look better, or they think it's a compliment, like when
Number
they talk
two on
crap
the list,
about other
ladies and
dudes, like,
gentlemen.
oh, that guy's is so weak, or whatever, that girl's not as pretty as you, or whatever. It's just like, I didn't ask.
Right.
Like, that's a weird thing to bring up. Like, if I'm asking, is that girl prettier than me, then I have my own problems, and that's a red flag. But
it's like a jealousy thing, I think.
Yeah.
It boils down to, like, you just can't be okay with someone else, like, looking good for a reason, whatever reason that might be.
it's like, I'm okay with other women looking attractive. Like, you don't have to compare me to them. Like me for me, I guess. It's a weird concept.
Yeah, I think that it is a dude thing. And this to me goes back to like tribal caveman stuff, because we're in competition. And of course, if you're trying to win the affections, if you will, of your mate, then you want to show that you are the best. I'm better than him, so don't evaluate him. And then you're also telling her, and you're the best I can get. You're the best I want. There's nobody else.
But you come off as a dork when you do it.
Right.
Oh,
Actions speak louder than words. I don't need you to tell me I'm the best or that you're the best. I need you to prove that you're the best by being the best version of yourself.
Hence why I hike up my Under Armour underwear.
Because that is the best version of Steve.
Thank you.
First of all, Vicky, it's a lot easier just to say I'm amazing than I actually have to work on being amazing. Okay, and that's a lot of hard work.
Just know when you say you're amazing, no one believes it.
Yeah, I'm hoping that somebody will. But it's very, very much like, it's dudes just, I get, like, if, for me as a dude, I understand that kind of thinking. But yeah, women are just like, what? What are you doing? You're putting somebody down in order to make yourself look good? Yeah. All right, so number 3 on the list. This one, I don't know. This could go either way, but it's definitely talking about guys. Calling your exes crazy, which... Yeah, that's never good. I don't even want
to talk about my exes. I have zero interest in even having that conversation. It's what's when the past is in the past. Unless they ask a question point blank about something like, hey, why did that relationship end? Then okay, I'll tell them. But I'm still not going to crap all over that person.
I feel like if a guy brings it up first, it's to prove I'm not hung up over my exes. They're crazy. Mm-hmm. But if a dude has multiple crazy exes, then I don't think they were the crazy ones.
I feel like this goes both ways though, because I've been on a date before when the girl just everything that she says is just about her ex.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just I'm out.
Yeah, you have to be.
I've had that conversation with someone why do you want to hang out again? I'm like, it doesn't sound like you're over whoever it was that you were with before, because the entire conversation was about that person. And it's just like, why? I'm not here to be your therapist for your ex-boyfriend. I just don't care.
And I find 8 to 9 times out of 10 when a guy says, or even a girl says that their ex is crazy, it's because they put up healthy boundaries or they reacted appropriately to something bad they did. Oh, well, she freaked out because I cheated on her, so she was the crazy one because she got really mad and yelled at me. It's no, she reacted appropriately. You're just, trying to find an excuse to kind of belittle that reaction.
Either way, women are saying, if you call your ex crazy, we ain't digging it. Mm-hmm. We ain't digging it. And this is a list of what women have put on Reddit saying when guys think this is the right thing to do to make themselves look good, but in reality, it's not.
I remember a while back at a bud that hit me. I'd be like, hey, I was thinking about hanging out with this person, but I know you dated them once. And I was like, yeah, dude, I don't care. Thank you for checking, but I don't care. It's been 10 plus years since that person's been in my life, and I'm obviously in a situation where I'm not pining for that person. But thanks for checking. But that's totally fine. I just also wondering, is she nuts or this? Asking those kind of questions. I'm like, dude, no, it's fine. And I remember my wife even asked me, hey, so was that? I'm like, oh, the person was completely nuts. She's like, well, why didn't you tell that to your buddy? I'm like, well, we're not that close. And also, that's not fair to that person. That was over 15-something years ago. Times have changed. For all I know, when I was dating that person, they were in a weird spot. But, it's not, let him figure that out on his own.
Right.
It wasn't she was crazy to the point where there was never I was waking up and she was hovering over my bed with a machete. That wasn't that crazy. It was just more there was jealousy issues or something like that. But that people mature over time, and it's not fair to lump them into that category from what they were 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Which to me, that is and that question you were asked, Steve, is the ultimate dude thing, trying to control. All right, I want to get all my ducks in a row. Let me do this, this, and this. And you're talking about another living being. This isn't a piece of tech or a vehicle. There's no way that you can manage somebody's personality. You're just going to have to know that, hey, guess what? You're going to be attracted to somebody, and they're going to act differently than you act, and that's going to be chaotic for you. But you can manage that chaotic thing, especially if that person's awesome.
And there's a very good chance that me 15, 20 years ago was the reason why she was acting, quote-unquote, crazy, because I was maybe driving her crazy. I don't know.
I didn't want to bring that up in front of you, Steve.
You know what I mean, though? It's there's a lot of factors. I was you should probably figure that part on your own.
Yeah. Well, I think it's pretty big of you to actually not hold that kind of a grudge and realize that 10 years is a long time.
Yeah.
People can change in 10 years. People still judge me, and rightly so, based on their interactions that they had with me 10, 15 years ago, and I haven't talked to them since. So their impression is still that impression of me 15 years ago, 10 years ago. And I've come to peace with the fact that, well, I can't blame them, because 10, 15 years ago, I was what I was. But judging me that way now is kind of unfair, because it's well, it doesn't matter how much work I do in myself. You're never going to give me credit for that, because you're still seeing me that long ago.
But it's not fair. It's crazy to think that someone would not change in the course of 10 years. And
it could go either way. I've seen some people go down I don't know if you've had this, but man, nothing saddens me more than a friend who I thought was really an amazing human being. And there's one friend in particular that I have that has gone off the rails. And I thought, this person was the nicest person. Like, no matter how much of a miserable SOB I was, they were kind. They did great things for my family. They were amazing. And so my brain just thought, they're only going to get better, right? There's no way they're going to become like a worse human being. They're just going to always have this big heart and be open to life. And my gosh, they are one of the biggest people you'll see on the internet spewing hate. And I'm like, what happened? Well, I mean, like this was not the person.
The internet happened. Social media happened. It gets in your brain.
Yeah,
it just deteriorates your brain quickly.
So sad because I mean, this person I thought, wow, I mean, what an amazing human being, and now I'm like, hey,
this segment brought to you by Twitter.
Yeah,
keeping people happy since 2010.
You're right, dude.
So I was curious. I don't know if Sarah has. Maybe we could call her in because people were wondering about like what it is about her that would turn her off from a guy, like when they think something's cool, because that would be probably a pretty interesting one to get Sarah's feedback on this.
Yeah, because I mean, Sarah likes people in prison, so I'm really not sure. I'm not sure what would turn her off in a guy that they, like a guy trying to impress her, and she's like, yeah, that's not impressive.
Oh, Sarah. A guy that spends more time on his look and appearance than I do is a huge turnoff for me.
That's number 6 on the list.
Who spends more time getting ready than I do.
I don't think we've ever timed it, but do I take longer in getting ready than you, Sarah?
I think you do.
I'm willing to put whatever money's in my wallet right now that you take longer to get ready than Sarah.
I think I do, because every time we're at like at a radio convention or anything, it's like I have to straighten my hair, put on my eyeliner, put on the cologne, and Sarah's like waiting for us.
Oh, it is so true. As a matter of fact, I would like to make this point, and I want to be careful that I'm not being insulting. Because, Danny, your girlfriend's a very, very attractive woman, but she looks like she just goes out looking that way. And you're the one that looks like you take hours putting makeup on.
It's true. Yeah. She doesn't put on makeup.
I feel like you probably spend more time on your hair than she spends on her hair.
Yes. 100%.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't like that. Yeah.
Well, good thing we're not dating, Sarah.
Yeah. Oh,
that would be awkward.
You would drive me crazy. I'd be like, okay, let's go. You don't look that great if you straighten your hair and put eyeliner on.
You're spending all this time to look disheveled. You just look disheveled.
Yeah, that's a conversation I have with a lot of my friends when they're super late to our plans. I'm like, you don't look like a supermodel. What took you so long?
Oh, that probably goes over great.
Oh, that's my daughter.
Friends.
How do you have friends?
Yeah. Hey, if you're like 30 minutes to an hour late to something and you don't look freaking amazing, what have you been spending your time doing?
Or what did they look like before they spent that 30 minutes?
Exactly.
Or they think they look really well, and then I'm like, oh, sorry to break it to you. But,
man.
Yeah, if that was my man, there's no way.
I've always had a hard time with this, and I always felt like I'm putting lipstick on a pig whenever I try to make myself look good anyway, but what other, guys loading up on cologne, jewelry, hair gel. I mean, I don't know if it was if John Travolta ruined it for a lot of guys, Saturday Night Fevering his way to what he thinks is a good look. But I've never understood dudes. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you taking so long putting all this stuff on? Oh, I'm metrosexual. Okay, whatever.
Well, some girls are attracted to it, so.
Turns out a lot of them aren't. At least according to this Reddit thing. I mean, so you're right, Vicky, because there's gotta. But then, where are all these women that go? No, I don't really like a guy that does all this.
There are people at the gym that spend more time getting ready for the gym than I do for like a date night out. It's like insane when I see something. I'm like, what in the how are your clothes look that perfect? And you're at the gym.
Yeah. Steve, one of the things on this
my
list
stuff is all wrinkled. I'm like, my gym clothes are like the crap that I won't wear in public. Like, it's just like, these are like, okay, these shorts are fine, whatever. I don't care. These socks have holes in them. Perfect for the gym.
I feel like if you're a decent human being and you're not a troll and you're like that, Steve, you look like you're comfortable, probably in a relationship. And I bet that's an attractive thing, is just a comfortable dude who's not trying too hard because, well, you're probably already in a relationship. And maybe that's the key. Look like you're in a relationship with the way you carry yourself, which is normally just you're a comfortable dude.
Zero F's given kind of mentality.
Well, I mean, there may be something to that, but you're also a decent human being because you still have to be a decent human being to be in a relationship. Like, she's not going to put up with you if you're a complete a-hole for too long.
And granted, this is a little bit different, like going to a club. I remember a few years ago we went to Summer Meltdown. And part of Summer Meltdown, it's a festival in Darrington. And, you spend a lot of time outside and you're having a good time. So, like, you go to the river, you're wearing, like, board shorts and a tank top and flip-flops. But by the end of the night, then everyone, like, dolls up in like a festival kind of way, typically like crazy costumes, bedazzled outfits or glowing things. Like, people go like balls out for their outfits, right? And our crew was cracking up because I just never changed. Like, I just still wearing the same board shorts and the same dirty tank top and a KISS trucker cap, dancing in the late night tent while everyone else is like all dolled up. And I'm just like, I don't care, man. I'm comfortable. You guys look very uncomfortable right now. I'm wasted and comfortable. You guys are wasted and wearing tight clothes.
Wasted and comfortable. Now there's a line of clothing you could start selling, Steve.
It was funny though, because it was like and it wasn't like intentional. It was just like I'm too drunk right now to even think of changing. I was like, I'm just going to keep on what I'm wearing.
That's awesome. On Friday, Mr. Wasted and Comfortable here, he did get this one wrong.
Canis lupus is better known as what animal?
Canine.
No.
Dog.
No.
Giraffe.
No.
Wolf.
Hey, look at you. You remember.
Yeah.
Nice work, buddy. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. How long is a bankruptcy going to affect my credit rating?
Of course, most of the time, by the time we're talking about filing a bankruptcy, the credit has already taken a huge hit. Chapter 7 is going to affect it more negatively than Chapter 13. Chapter 7 stays on your credit report for 10 years from the time you file. It usually takes 7 or 8 years for your credit scores to get back into the normal range in a Chapter 7 case. However, your credit will start to recover even in Chapter 7 after about a year. You'll be able to get credit again right away, usually before your case is even over. Chapter 13 stays on your credit report for 7 years and usually takes about 3.5 years for your credit to get back in the normal range. So Chapter 13 will mean your credit gets better much more rapidly.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.